to another episode of HCC MovieMakers Academy Movie Reviews. My name is Trey Dixon.
And I'm Nguyen.
And I'm Steffi Grace, and we're going to talk about What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows is a movie by Jermaine Clement and Taika Waititi, some of the guys who brought us Flight of the Conchords, and it's about a bunch of vampires who live in the same house together, and they get into a bunch of fun, hilarious shenanigans. And I gotta say, I kind of loved this movie.
It was a laugh-a-thon, really. I've never seen a better comedy this year, or like the previous 2 years, actually.
This was probably better than Spy, and I really liked Spy.
I would almost agree. Well, all the funniest stuff was in the beginning. Unless you put aside the fact that the whole thing is a constant gag. It's kind of like they're making fun of these reality TV shows where you throw together a bunch of people and see the dynamic between them.
I came to this country for love. There was a girl, human girl. She gave me this before she left. Unfortunately, we vampires cannot wear silver.
But I liked the guy that looked like Nosferatu, and it was very unfortunate.
Peter?
Yeah.
They do that. They do that.
Yeah.
And then they also managed to take all of the knowledge that's been established about vampires and pop culture and managed to flip that on its head in a really humorous way.
Like Vladimir the Poker. That's kind of an allusion to Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah.
I figured.
There's a great scene in the movie where this newly inducted vampire, or this newly transformed vampire. Yeah, Nick.
Yeah.
He, we've always heard that vampires can't eat, like, real food. And there's a scene where he vomits after eating French fries.
It's all blood.
It's all blood.
It's enormous, copious amounts of blood that'd be impossible to fit in the whole human body.
I was almost on the floor laughing. It was so funny in certain parts.
And that is the nice thing about What We Do in the Shadows, because this is not about vampires battling werewolves or some kind of ancient war going on.
Although that does take place in the movie.
It does take place.
Yeah.
He keeps talking about his battles with the beast, and you find out later on it's his ex-girlfriend.
And he has like all of these horrific things to say about her, and she's built up like she's this horrific monstrosity.
Yeah, and you see pictures of it. Looks like something like what you might see in ancient texts that talk about the devil. This is
his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, it's his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
that was great.
I like the werewolves in this movie because they're
werewolves. We're not swearwolves.
Werewolves, not swearwolves.
Count to 10 human again.
Count to 10 human again. Count to
They
10
chain
human.
themselves up. Makes sense.
Okay, if you want to keep your clothes after you finish transforming, take them off.
They like
I thought that was great.
They're kind of like a bunch of they're like a gang.
But this is kind of like a support group gang because they try to support each other because they know that if they don't chain themselves up at night on a full moon, then they will go crazy.
So it is a movie that's kind of like a reality TV show that also pokes fun at all of the tropes that we're familiar with about vampire movies and werewolf movies and kind of horror movies in general. But it's kind of about the relationship between these four dudes.
Flatmates.
These four flatmates. And
with the dishes.
The problems of staying in the flat.
Getting up on time.
And
there's a
bat fight.
I really like the chemistry between all the actors. They have a really great rapport with each other, and the way they communicate is so interesting to watch. It almost feels as if the dialogue that they have with each other is improvisational.
Well, most of it was improvisational.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. A couple of times it almost looked like one of them was about to start laughing during that fight scene that I was talking about.
Yeah.
And they're like, I will do the dishes. And then they both fly into the air and hiss at each other. That was pretty funny.
Why is the couch red?
Why is the
Because they forgot to put down the newspapers. I told you it's not hard to put down some towels on newspapers. We're vampires. We don't put down towels and
So there's like one vampire. He's like, I guess
he's a dandy.
He's the guy that we're introduced to at the very beginning of the movie, and throughout the film we find out that he's very lovesick. This girl that he fell in love with a long time ago left his life. And there's a great scene near the end where he says, well, some people might think I'm robbing the grave.
The cradle snatcher.
Oh, I'm the cradle snatcher.
And she's an old lady, and he looks like a young guy, but he's, how many years old?
Like
300?
300, 400.
No, like more, 200? No, probably 300.
Yeah, and that's a genius thing about it. It's very humorous it's over the top.
Yeah.
But it's human. It's relatable. It made a world unrelatable world relatable.
They use all of the lore that we're familiar with and constantly dig deeper to find new ways to tell a joke.
And I love the way
Yeah.
how they use different kinds of vampires. We have the 18th century kind of vampire.
And then you have the one that's
We have the
8,000 years
medieval
old.
time vampire. We have the original vampire, Nosferatu-ish, and we also have the modern vampire as well. So this is just, I mean,
Vampires through the
Our friend
generations.
just died in a fatal sunlight accident.
Yeah,
There you
poor Pete. Poor Pete.
Oh man,
Yeah.
this is a really good movie. I ended up putting this in my top 10 of the year.
I know
It's kind of low on the list, but I really loved this movie.
The
And
thing is, it
what I kind of said when I did that video is that it's also a very good example of found footage. But I feel like found footage only really works when it's operated under the guise of a faux documentary.
But-
This is Spinal Tap is a great faux documentary.
Right.
That's just a bunch of footage that everybody put together. And while I don't necessarily think that this movie is as great as This is Spinal Tap, that movie is a friggin' classic, I would have no
Right.
problem mentioning it in the same breath as This is Spinal Tap.
Well, I don't know about calling it a found footage film. It's more like a mockumentary.
Yeah.
it is
It's a
a
mockumentary.
Yeah, that's the right word.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is
because I keep thinking found footage.
I guess what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say is that maybe the idea of found footage doesn't necessarily work.
Or apply in this case.
Yeah, well, not in this case, but I feel like if more things could be faux, whatever the type of story is they're trying to tell, it would work better.
You mean spoof?
Because I saw it like a faux documentary, but I also saw it sort of as them trying to play with a little bit of the conventions that we see in found footage horror films, because it's like a big horror movie spoof.
Right.
So I feel like they were trying to sort of wink at that a little bit, and this is how that should be done. I feel anyway.
Okay.
A proper kind of spoof as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I just thought it kind of makes fun of reality TV and the dynamics between all these characters, like Jersey
It's like the
Shore.
real world,
Yeah,
but with vampires.
exactly.
but unlike reality TV, the humor is genuine.
Yeah,
The heart of it is also genuine as well.
It seems more genuine than some of the reality TV shows that are on today.
Yeah, tell me about
Yeah.
it.
I know.
So I adore this movie. It's probably about an 8 out of 10 for me. I feel very confident in that. This is one of my favorite movies of the year, and I really like it.
Only an 8 out of 10.
I mean, look, it's at the bottom of my top 10 currently, but I really did like it, and it's hard for a comedy to just grab me because I'm such a cynical jerk
We
all
know.
the time.
We know.
You are.
Yeah. These guys can vouch. I'm not a nice person, but
You are on Wednesdays.
on Wednesdays I'm an okay guy. On Wednesdays.
I don't know anything about it.
Unfortunately, we're recording this on Thursdays. Oh wait, it's
Fridays,
Fridays.
today's Friday.
Yeah.
Sorry
So-
about what happened in the bathroom, by the way.
Okay, so I would rate it also an 8.
Oh, well, great.
You gave it an 8.
Yeah, also an 8.
You guys are in the 8 club. I'm in the 9.
This is a good. You know what? Then I'm totally fine with that.
Mhm.
This is a really wonderful movie, and I think we would recommend it to everybody.
Mhm.
So thank you for watching HCC MovieMakers Academy movie reviews. We're brought to you by the Houston Community College Filmmaking Program and HCC TV. Visit us online at www.hccs.edu and enroll yourself in the art of filmmaking. Check out our YouTube channel and subscribe if you would like to receive more reviews just like this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
We love you.